Why did you run for the board of directors?
Well, I hadn't thought about it, and then I'd seen the signs. I thought, And so I was actually talking to Greg at a function, and he said, you ought to run. So I thought, well, let me go take a look. So I went to a board of directors meeting. Greg encouraged me to run. In fact, I did not attend the orientation for new candidates because I decided not to run. And Greg actually sent me the application to run and a copy of his campaign flyer, and again encouraged me. And he said, you can do some things that nobody else in the community can do. And I thought, well, I love Trilogy. We certainly enjoyed living here. And it was nice to think that perhaps some of my previous experience could help. And so that's why I did it. I really thought I could serve because service is in my heart. I never made much money as mayor, but I was able to do things that were good things for the community. And I thought I could do the same thing for Trilogy. I'd hoped that I could find ways to make Trilogy more financially independent. I wanted to look for methods to raise money beyond simply going to the dues, because dues have a direct impact on us. I never quite understood when I was younger, old people complaining about living on a fixed income and having limited money. I understand that now because what we retired at, depending on when you retired, what was a lot of money 30 years ago when you retired is nothing now. And so we need to control the cost and find alternate sources of revenue so we can keep it livable. And it's the same thing when I was in town government. When I was mayor, we cut property taxes twice. Nobody cuts property taxes. You never do that. We did it because we could.
Wow, that's unheard of. That's amazing.
I just thought I could help. I was encouraged by Greg, and it just seemed like an opportunity. There are things that there's things that I know about. I knew that we had a water problem coming down the road, and I knew that it didn't seem like anybody even knew where the reclaimed water line even came, and so there wasn't much chance. But there are just things that I thought I could do to help keep Trilogy as affordable as it could be. And not so much for the new residents who just moved in that are currently still working or are going to drop much larger retirements, but for the people that have been there, people that are the true pioneers of Trilogy, not force them out. And when the dues go up, even if it doesn't push someone out of their home, which is the worst thing, when you got some poor widow lady or widower who can afford to pay the dues and afford to pay rent, but they can't afford to go to any of the events we have in Trilogy. They can't afford the $25 to go to some of the shows we have and things like this. They just haven't got it, which is part of the enjoyment of Trilogy. That's a tragedy. And we need to make it where it's not only livable, but enjoyable, where people can enjoy the benefits of Trilogy. And that was the whole goal, is how do we make this work?